stupid. Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, Season 2. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja. Well, you can't hear me?
You had paused for like 5. Again, you did the 5-second thing.
I did?
Yes, where it was just nothing. It was just, I'm Ja.
I thought I said it quickly, but hey.
Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, Season 2. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
Good right on time. And it's our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, analyze players and teams from previous games, from the previous few days, week, so to speak, whatsoever, everything around you. But all right, Ja, we're back. New podcast. There's a lot of things that's happening around the league, a lot of things to discuss. So let's get right into it, Ja. Anything you'd like to go over?
I want to talk about the ball game between Washington and Indiana, because that was a good one. But most importantly, specifically going into player performances, Miles Turner showed the upside that we kind of been
waiting to
see for, and he came up big, 41 on the night, and this was a close game between both teams.
Yeah,
Indiana, Washington. A lot of changes. Well, not for Indiana really, but a lot of changes happened in the offseason. This is a new Washington team.
Yes.
With a lot of great offensive talent in terms of Spencer Dinwiddie, Montrezl Harrell, what's his name? Aaron Holiday, Bradley Beal, of course, who's been on the team for a while. But this is like a new revamped team. Kyle Kuzma, and these guys went at it, but yeah, Miles Turner balled out. Sabonis balled out. Chris Duarte, again, his confidence. He was feeling like Reggie Miller out there with the way he's been shooting lately. Of course, obviously, he ain't no Reggie Miller, but just the confidence. He's pulling it with confidence like Reggie did. But in terms of that, it was a close game, but unfortunately, Indiana falls short by 1 point once again, and that's what has been so far for Indiana this year.
Well, yep, with Indy, I mean, that's just how they've been. Luckily for them, though, the next night after, they got a huge win against the Heat after almost choking that lead, too. But they got a huge win in overtime in a bit of a little sloppy game, but Sabonis did ball out. So speaking of the Heat, they've been playing some good basketball, I would say. They only had one loss on the season. Well, it's only been like 4 games, but they only have one loss on the season. They got a big win, dominated win against the Bucks, even though 2 starters were out. And Tyler Hero's been playing really good. He put a lot of pressure on himself, saying that he belongs in the category of John Morant and Trae Young, and everybody basically laughed at it. But he's been playing some good basketball. He's been playing really, really good. And I'm happy to see that when you put the pressure on yourself and then you're able to kind of like use that as fuel, motivation, get yourself over. I really like when players do that. And of course, considering you have Jimmy Butler on this team,
Yeah.
that also helps as well. But yeah, keep an eye out for Miami Heat. Keep an eye on.
I already called out for Miami Heat a long time ago, but hey, nobody want to believe me,
Yeah, you did. I mean, they just got a big win. Well, not a big one, but they just got a win over the Magic, and Jimmy Butler had 36 and 5 steals. At least they can beat the Magic. Go over some other things, like oh yeah, you're not surprise team, but your dark horse. Your dark horse, the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, I know.
They are 4-0 for the first time since 1996-97 season. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Your GOAT played there on that
Yep,
team.
of course. The people's goat. The people's goat. Let's just say that.
Not mine. I think it's Will, but
Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. Sure.
or Bill.
You could go ahead and lie to your people. I know.
Actually, no. Yeah, my GOAT is Mike in it. It's not a bad GOAT in Minneapolis.
What about Sharman?
Okay, we're not. With all due respect. I was gonna say something disrespectful, but I didn't want to say something disrespectful because that's a legend. That's a legend. Top 75. But
yeah,
the Bills have been playing some really good basketball.
Yeah, the Bulls have been getting off to a really good start, and I'm really liking it. And here's the thing: what I feel like when it comes to them, right? It's just like, certain teams take time, of course, obviously, and they're still obviously working out their things. But I feel like they already know what they have to do coming into, because all the pieces were already fit together. Like, again, Lonzo, like Levine and DeRozan out on the wings need to just specifically focus on the scoring category. And again, this is also a defensive-minded type of team too, in terms of when it comes down to time to it, they're all going to connect on the floor on the defensive end, and it's going to come in their way. But I really feel like there's not any kind of problems between them, because they already know what their role is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they already know what they have to do each and every night out on the floor. Again, DeRozan and Levine. DeRozan's been doing great. Of course, that's my favorite player, of course. Levine's been putting up numbers as usual, of course. And, those two are specifically made to score the basketball. That's what we know that for. Especially Levine. We know him for being the best shooter on the team. So what is it to do? Like, do I really need to go into it? Like,
Levine's best shooter on the team.
Well, he just passed the Michael Jordan for fourth time on the 3-point list. So why
yeah, because Michael Jordan is a shooter. Levine's a better shooter than Kobe White.
Well, he was in the 3-point contest, so he has to be.
Because he's more known. I mean, he might be better shooter than Kobe White. I'm not actually entirely sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, your team has been really, really impressed. Really impressive. And I've been really impressed with how they play. Even though they kind of messed up last night against the Raptors and almost coughed it up.
Yeah.
And Van Vliet had an open look and shifted Vucevic, by the way. Shifted Vucevic. But he eventually missed the game time three-pointer. But yeah, the Bulls, they're number one in the East currently. It's only 4 games, but they're number one in the East. Let's see how long that lasts. See how long that lasts. But some other things to talk about, a player to look out for of mine. My guy, John Moran. Unfortunately, 2 nights ago, he had a tough loss. Yeah, a really tough loss. And in that game, Grizzlies played the Lakers. And someone on the opposite side, in a Lakers uniform, passed Moses Malone and became 9th all-time on the NBA scoring list. I mean, this is the 10-time All-Star we're talking about here. This is a former All-NBA player. This is one of the most elite and talented scorers we have ever seen play the game. This is Carmelo Anthony, ladies and gentlemen. Carmelo Anthony, 9th on the all-time scoring list. And not only did he get 9th, he proceeded to just keep dropping buckets in that game. Because he had 28 on the night.
Yeah.
Man, did I love to see that. I love to see. Like I told you before, if LeBron gets a ring for this Lakers team, if he helps Melo get this ring, I don't care what you say, LeBron's the GOAT. I would not say any other argument. I won't bring up any accolade of LeBron. I say Melo got a ring because of him. That will be my sole argument. And Anthony Davis would be top 10.
Look at that. The class of 03 is going strong being together, right? Huh? But yeah, let's don't do that. But let's be honest here. This is as great of an accomplishment it is,
Mhm.
this was long overdue. Because don't forget, he was out of the league. He
I knew
was
he was
out
gonna
of
say.
the
I knew he
he
was
was
gonna
out
say
of the
that.
league. He
Yeah, he
was out
was.
like he
It was only
shot.
for one season though.
Hey, one season that's 82 games. Like you know what you could do in those 82 game span, especially at Carmelo Anthony's caliber and talent.
Yeah, pass the ball, James Harden.
Forget it.
or scream for the ball saying I'm open
Yeah,
and
yeah. Or
and have him wave you off.
yeah, yeah. Talking about get the F out of here,
Yeah,
But
just for him to draw a foul. It's something that he seems to be harder doing.
don't do that.
The rules hitting a little different, Harden, huh? We'll get to
Yeah,
that a little bit later, but yeah.
yeah. Harden's not having his best of times right now this season. But yeah. As I was saying, yeah, Melo was cooking in that game, of course. But it was a close game going down to it. And what did I say? 2 out of 3, baby. 2 out of 3.
Back to John Morant and the Grizzlies. It was a really close game, and it came down to the wire. And John Morant was absolutely torching the Lakers the whole night. He had 40 on the night, and came down to free throws because Kent Bazemore had fouled him.
Yeah.
Made the first one, made the second one, and he missed the third. The third free throw would have ended up making it a tie game and possibly forcing it to overtime because the Lakers didn't have timeouts. And that, I know that ruined his night. You had 40, you had 10 rebounds,
And you was
but
hot.
yeah, but not 10 rebounds.
10 assists.
10 assists. And he was hot, but all in your mind, now you gotta think, damn, I pushed my team game, I missed a free throw, I choked, that's tough. And that's really is tough, but he'll be fine. Great players bounce back. And he will be a great player in this league. He's going to that. He's going to that. I believe after the season, he's going to be in that area. De'Aaron Fox is going to be tight, but
Don't
so
do
be
that.
it.
Why do that?
That wasn't worse than what the other guys. So.
But let's walk away from John Morant for a second. Let's just talk about his team in general. His team has just been playing great. For a team like Memphis to have this kind of core and young talent and to be this good, because I feel like they know their rhythm. They really know their rhythm, and of course their coach, Taylor Jenkins, right? That's his name. They have been with each other for a good minute now, and it's just with the way that they have been playing, they've been playing like they know how to flow, move, and connect on both ends of the floor. In my opinion, like this was their road trip in LA. Their LA road trip, they went against the Clippers the night before. They came back into the game and even won that game because John Morant went crazy in that fourth quarter, along with Jaren Jackson hitting a big three to even just dagger it.
Oh yeah, against the Clippers. Yep.
Yep. And along the fact that he even do PG, but we're gonna get to PG a little bit later. But yeah, thing that happens, and then you come into a game, you're going against the super team Lakers, looking like they was back in 04, of course, been struggling.
We saw how that ended,
Yeah. And the Lakers nearly coughed up the game. The Lakers had a good lead, and you felt like they was gonna go away with it, and the Lakers basically coughed up the game.
Yeah.
As Memphis was able to get back into it after a couple of turnovers. But then John Morant situation happened, and then it was just like sayonara, first loss of the season.
Yeah. I mean, the Grizzlies, they really do have a strong team. Like, hey, they could be a dark horse. Screw the Warriors. No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to get Warriors fans upset. But yeah, John Morant, Jaren Jackson, Steven Adams, Taylor Jenkins. I mean, they have the pieces. They haven't got good players. Dylan Brooks is not even playing yet.
Yeah.
So when he comes back, he's going to add fuel to the fire. So they got something brewing down there. They got something brewing down there in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes, they do.
As for the Lakers, this was a really good win. They almost coughed it up, yes, but they needed this win. This is their first win of the season. They've been struggling a whole lot of things. Dwight Howard getting the AD's face because he's on the 75 list. So, something needs to go right.
Yeah.
Melo was the main catalyst of this win, and he helped them get things right for this win. LeBron didn't even really have a great game.
Yeah.
He didn't mention LeBron at all because he really didn't have the best of games. Still, doing his thing, still getting rebounds, still scoring when he could, still getting assists. But he didn't have the best game, but they still was able to get a good win against the good Grizzlies team.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead, finish.
Message to Lakers fans: relax. You got to struggle. New team, new chemistry. Frank Vogel has to see what lineups are going to work. How to see how he's going to integrate his coaching system with these type of players. Relax.
Yeah.
As long as they are health, you have to worry about health. That's the only thing. Don't worry about these first 10 games. Worry about health.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, I feel like these 2 games have shown that Frank Vogel needs to make some adjustments. And I don't even think it's major adjustments. It's just minor adjustments because where I feel like the strong suit for this Lakers team, regardless of age, is the fact that they're one of the fastest teams in their league, or could be one of the fastest teams. And I don't feel like they're playing with that fast-paced, energetic style of play that they should be playing with, in my opinion. I feel like that's what's holding them back offensively and defensive. I feel like actually defensively they're there. It's just that their offense is not being well put together to make it seem like that.
Yeah.
Like the Lakers have 2 of the fastest players in the league in terms of Braun and Westbrook. Okay, LeBron probably went down in speed over the years, but he's still fast compared to most.
Yeah.
Then you got AD. You talk about Rondo, who could run the show, even though he's not really like known as a fast person. You know what I mean? But like this is when you put all the pieces together, this is a fast, athletic team who could get you up and down the floor whenever they can. And I feel like if they could start getting into that mindset and ready mode of being that type of team, then they're going to be good. Obviously, things change when the playoffs come around because obviously we know for a fact they're going to make the playoffs. But
nah, maybe not. I think play in.
Don't do that. But the Lakers are going to be fine. They just need to just get into that way of Sean. We could dust teams out if we move in transition. That's all that it is for me.
Yeah, I agree. The Lakers are going to be fine. Don't worry. I got to struggle for a little bit, but let's see how things are in the middle and later half of the season. Really, I just want to miss some young players. Davion Mitchell, that's my guy. Yeah. He shows a lot of potential, and I really like to see the way he plays. He shows heart, he shows aggression, he shows passion. He's done him on the defensive side of the board. He's making it exciting to see somebody play defense again. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really fun to watch. Not to mention he had 22 the other night. So now he's scoring. Oh, don't do this. You're not D Wade. You trying to take Donovan's spot.
Yeah. Yeah, Davion Mitchell is going to be good. I really feel like he's going to be good because in terms of that, again, just like what you said, he makes defense fun to watch. Like, and he's dedicated, he's passionate on that side of the floor, and his offensive game is going to show itself gradually over time whenever he gets the opportunity. Yeah. He went out with Donovan Mitchell, and that was like a fun matchup to see, even though Donovan Mitchell still kind of dusted him. But he was holding his own. And you can't. And that's what you like to see, because in my opinion, obviously he don't got the hops like Donovan, of course. But if you see the way he moves on the floor with the ball in his hands and without the ball in his hand, he moved like Donovan a little bit, in my opinion. Again, no hops.
Well, maybe better than Donovan in 5 years. But yeah, might be in 2 years. But yeah, I like that, he's showing promise and showing potential. Unfortunately, he's in Sacramento. But Sacramento does have some talent. I mean, they came close to beating the Warriors, but late game struggles. De'Aaron Fox didn't have the best of games, having 7 turnovers that game, and they eventually fell. But again, Sacramento has talent. It's just they don't have the structure. And another team that has talent and don't have the structure that I'm more empathetic with than Sacramento is Houston. Man,
Yeah.
Houston really has really good young talent. Jayshawn Tate, I'm high on him. Kevin Porter Jr., we know what he can do. We've seen what he can do. And man, Jalen Green. Jalen Green. A
Yeah.
couple nights ago against the Celtics, he had the hot hand. He had 8 3-pointers, I believe. He had 8 3-pointers. He had 30 points. He was balling, not to mention he got hops. He got hops. He was fun to watch. That whole Rockets team was fun to watch. And not to mention they still have Christian Wood. And I really think that he can be a really, 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 really good player, possibly even great player, if given the opportunity, if given a good team. This Rockets team, they're a young core, they're a young team, and give them some structure, give them some experience, and I say in 2 to 3 years, they could be a playoff contending team. I don't know if that is right now, though.
Yeah.
But in 2 to 3 years, talent they have, keep this young talent, get some more, get a well-structured unit, with coaching staff and the coaches, get some chemistry flowing, get some experience. They could potentially be dangerous.
Yeah,
in the future.
I agree with you for sure. Again, let's be honest. The Houston Rockets, these past 2 seasons, like last season and this season right now, are really talented. Have shown a lot of talent on their team that have brought in and out a lot of talent. You know what I mean? But yeah, with this specific team that they have this season, is young. They need time to build, but they have a lot of potential, just like what you said, and they could do a lot. Like again, I'm looking at their upside in terms of the offensive end, because again, with Porter, Jalen Green, Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood, those are guys who could get you buckets each and every time within the game. And I feel like that's what's gonna really be their strong suit if they hit their stride in those 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Speaking of hitting their stride, who hit their stride in these past 2 games?
Last but not.
The boys down in Boston. Those Boston Celtics. Just mentioned the Rockets 2 nights ago. They played the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics handled them, took care of business, then went down to Charlotte last night, took care of business because that boy Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard some ridiculous things about Jason Tatum because he had one bad night in the Garden. Listen, most people have bad nights in the Garden, unless you Cole Anthony, apparently. But Tatum, he had a tremendous night against the Hornets last night in a great, thrilling game. Plus, they were playing down in that fourth quarter, and the Celtics really had to come back and get into a position to win the game. Not too much. I mean, they weren't down by like 15 or anything like that. But the Hornets really had the advantage for that good portion in the fourth quarter. And the Celtics, they came back off of Tatum's 41, 7, and 8. Because at the end of the day, Tatum is still a star player. He had one bad performance, people. Let's calm him down. Tatum's still a star player. Tatum saying he's not even the best player on his team. Wow. I love Jalen Brown, but Tatum is still that guy. Okay, he's still very skilled. He still has a pulse move. He still has a scoring ability. He still has the ball handling ability. He's still a great jump shooter. I mean, he showed that once again in Houston when he had 30, and last night when he had 41.
Exactly, and I believe he had like 17 in the second quarter.
Oh yeah, because they were playing down, and he said, "Hey, here."
He had 17 in the second quarter. He was balling. And let's be honest. Look, in today's in today's world, in the sports world here, specifically in the basketball world, you got people that are gonna go berserk and out of their minds when they witness things like what he had in MSG and say, "Dang, is he really the best player?" I don't even think he's the 5th best player. And they're gonna say crazy things like that. But again, when you're a great talent like Tatum, and you're still scary, it's still scary because he's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
you have to come up and show like, hey, that like bad games is just a fluke. And like, I'm going, and this is the real me. And that's what he's been showing these past 2 games. Again, he was killing the Rockies. He went at it with the rookie, but of course, he's the vet and he's going to show his dominance. And again, he's one of the clutchest players in the league, one of the clutchest young talents in the league. When you want the ball in the clutch, you got the Boston Celtics has 2 of the best scorers. And when it comes to that, Brown and Tatum.
Smart. Oh, Tatum.
And Tatum if he has a wide open 3, I guess. But he showed that. Even though they kind of fumbled the ball. But yeah.
Well, no, they fumbled the ball after their I guess as a former teammate wanted to switch sides and give the ball to them. Because Gordon Hayward, that was a bad pass. I had a chance to win the game before it hits overtime. I know you want to get the ball to Melo, but that was a poor pass. And plus, who is Melo being guarded by? I don't know. One of the best perimeter guards in the league, Marcus Smart. And you threw that pat like that wasn't smart. That was not smart at all. Yeah, but and not to sleep on Brown, who had himself a great game as well. 30 points, 9 rebounds, and Miles Bridges get out the way. Oh my God, that was a poster.
I never know that you could have a poster to dagger the game. I thought you could like a jump shot, but yeah, that was
in OT. Yam did right on Miles Bridges' head.
Yeah, that was game from right then and there, though. Everybody in that Hornets arena was just going towards the tunnel. They was like, yeah, it's time to go. It was after that, yeah. You made a name of putting people on posters. Well, you just got put on the poster yourself, young man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hey, that was dangerous. Pelicans and the Timberwolves. Real quick, just Pelicans and the Timberwolves. Just to clown on Ja for a minute. Yeah, Jonas Valanciunas might be better than Cat because
that's highly different. That's a
2020 game for my boy Jonas.
Yeah, you know what that sounds like? That's almost like saying that Brad Miller is better than KG. You know who Brad Miller is? Exactly.
Yes, I know who Brad Miller is. It's almost like saying Kate.
Trust me, if you ask our audience who's Brad Miller, majority of them is going to say, "Who's that?"
You're right about that. You're right. It's almost like saying Jared Allen's better than Jokic.
He looked like it last night.
Do that. Don't do that. Oh man. But yeah, you got a Cat. Jonas 2020 game. I can't even count on Cat like that because he played great. He played great.
32 and 14 is not bad.
Yeah, you're right. He 32, 14, 7. He played great. Anthony Edwards played great. Let's leave
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What? I just said let's just leave it like that. Let's just leave it like that for the Timberwolves.
You're gonna bounce back, D-Lo. Don't worry, Nick Young is not around.
That was disrespectful.
Yeah, that was. I'm sorry. I take it back.
I'm off to a little bit of a slow start, bro.
Yeah, but don't worry. He's gonna bounce back. I have faith in D-Lo. You must forgot he was here doing damage in Brooklyn. And speaking of Brooklyn, let's just go down to Philly real quick and talk about God,
that game?
Danny Green. What was that?
Don't do that. Come on, man. That game was like 3 days ago. Don't do that.
Oh my God. Like, what was that? Danny Green. You was looking like in the finals.
Don't do that.
I don't know what was that? Like Green Ranger, I think more Red Ranger because I don't know what it was. But you want to talk about Philadelphia. Philadelphia came out playing with stride on both ends of the floor in transition. Defensively, they was getting at it. Offensively, they was getting to the paint. And Tobias and Curry and Steph Curry, they were hot. They were hot, especially in that first half. They were really hot, especially from the 3. The way that Philly was letting it go from the 3, it went well. And the Nets did not take the lead did not have a lead at all.
At all.
up until a certain point in the game.
And at certain point, it was 5:30 left. Do you know how many points the Sixers scored with 5:30 left in the game?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of dozed off just watching them, so I don't.
That's fine because I got it. They scored one more point than us. 1 point in 5:30 minutes left in the game compared to the Nets 16. The Nets went on a 16-1 run to end the game, and they took the lead when Aldridge got the and one. My son LaMarcus, my guy LA got the and one to take the lead.
All I know, KD hits a shot. Then I know LaMarcus grabs. They missed. Then all I know, the Nets get the ball. They missed, but then LaMarcus always get the rebound, puts it back in. The next thing again, all I know, KD hits another shot, and then all I know, Harden dribble. Of course, there's no fouls going on him, so he finds a way to still get inside the paint. Passes to LaMarcus. LaMarcus always gets a dunk and one, and then all you know is right there. And mind you, they did not score. And most of those possessions on the other side, Danny Green wide open. Air.
Jesus.
And it was like, Jesus Christ, man.
I thought it was 98 and his last name was Bryant.
But yeah, choked. That's all I gotta say. Choked.
But you mentioned a player on that Nets team. You know, the second best player on that team, someone who is a top 75 player of all time. You mentioned James Harden. And we alluded to him a little earlier, made some jokes about it. But let's get a little serious about his situation. James Harden has not been playing great, so to speak, to start this season. He's been really inefficient. And he's taking some bad shots. And he just hasn't been able to get the ball in the hoop. Now, I know a lot of people have been immediately clowning him about why this is happening, what's going on with him. And everybody essentially knows it. A good portion of it is the rule change. Let's not, get it twisted. Yes, it's the rule change. He has relied heavily for a great portion of his career on getting the foul calls, on drawing fouls, jumping into the players, stopping and starting, initiating contact. He was the best at it. Hands down, he was the best at it. Then they made that rule change, and now he can't get those calls as much. Yeah. So, yes, it's taking a hit. And, yes, he's trying to initiate those contacts, and he's not getting those calls, and he's missing those shots. It's going to be an adjustment. But James Harden is a great player. Great players adjust.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit of time. He will adjust, and he will be James Harden again. And he will find another way to manipulate another rule because he's that smart in terms of the game. He has a high basketball IQ. He knows how to get calls. He knows how to draw fouls. Like I said, great players adjust in the face of adversity. He's a great player. He will adjust.
Yeah, like let's be honest here. Harden has the expectation level that we have of Harden, of course, hasn't really been there this season. Hasn't really been there. But just like what you said, he's a great player and you're going to find ways to adjust. Let's just be honest about who James Harden is on the real. This is a man, believe it or not, even though people have been doing this in terms of drawing fouls, he has changed the game. He changed the game in terms of that. There's a reason why this rule was made is all because of him. You know how great that you have to be at, a good portion of it is because of him. You know how legendary you have to be in order for them to try to make that rule call, and the fact that they always have you as the first person in mind to why they're trying to make this rule. He's been again, just like what you say, he's so smart. His IQ is up there in terms of finding ways to score that he manipulated the game. He manipulated the game in such a great way that people really had to make a rule change about it. It's just that I don't think he's getting to a point that I don't think he's understanding the point that, like, the things that he used to do isn't going to slide anymore. Probably will slide here and there once in a while, but you have to find a different way, and you are going to find a different way. I really have faith that he's going to find a different way, but trying to always draw a foul and feel like he's going to get the call, and when he doesn't get the call, he complains. It's just like it's sorry, it's not going to work. They changed it up for a reason to avoid it because so-called, I guess, is not basketball, but just like what you say, he's a great talent, man. But the way you've been playing, it looked like you should not be on the 75ers. But yeah,
that is disrespectful. That is so. Take that back. Apologize.
I'm joking.
Apologize. I'm not gonna let you do that.
I was joking.
Okay.
I was joking, bro. Calm down.
I had to let him know. You know, Steve Nash said that he felt like they out to get James Harden. Nash, it's kind of hard. It's a little different when the rules change aren't in your favor like they were in 04. That's why you got the MVP. All right.
Hey, twice more than Shaq.
And he'll never get him. All right. Let's do some predictions. Just for we'll do 2 days. First for tonight. Starting off TNT 7:30. Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, no Ben. Going to the Garden. Going up against these New York Knicks, looking to bounce back after losing to the Orlando Magic. Who do you have?
Really?
Warriors Thunder. No KD or Westbrook. Okay.
Josh Giddey. Let me stop. I got the Warriors.
I got the Warriors as well. Rockets or Mavericks?
Mavs.
Lakers or Spurs?
Lakers.
And TNT 10 o'clock, Nuggets Jazz.
Oh, dang. Okay. If it's like it's how it is in the bubble, I got the Nuggets.
No Murray.
Oh, okay. I guess I got the Jazz. Forget it.
I got the Nuggets. Next day, tomorrow, Hornets Magic.
Hornets.
Wizards Celtics.
I'm going to let me say the Wizards, actually.
And the C's. Heat Nets. Interesting battle.
Heat.
Nets. Pacers Raptors.
Pacers.
Hawks Pelicans.
Yeah, Hawks. Hawks.
I had the Hawks as well. That's ESPN 7:30 game. Next, the Timberwolves versus the Bucks. King me, Giannis in the Bucks.
Again, I got my play to look out for versus my surprise team, so I can't go against them. Timberwolves, thank you. D'Lo, Cat, and Edwards will combine for 150 points. Thank you.
If D'Lo couldn't score against Pelicans, what makes you think D'Lo's scoring against Drew Holiday?
Hey, just a rough night.
Oh, just a rough night?
It's a rough night. Hey, Giannis only scored 15 and 10 against the Heat. So what's up? What you trying to say?
It was a rough night.
Exactly.
I don't know. Drew Holiday did a good job against Chris Paul. If D'Lo's doing something, I'll be looking out. But yeah, Bucks.
Hey, difference between the series and the regular season is
that I used to get so annoyed, and when you used to do that, but now after last season, it amuses me so much. Like that's the funniest thing in the world. King me, Giannis.
Look. All I gotta
say
is
Lakers.
Lakers
Thunder.
All I gotta say
Lakers Thunder.
3 versus 1.
Lakers Thunder.
1 less shoe size. Lakers versus
Thunder.
Well, I got the Lakers.
Finals MVP. King Suns.
Yeah, I know Braun was Finals MVP multiple times.
King Suns.
2-time
MVP. Grizzlies Trailblazers.
4-time MVP, by the way. You said who versus what?
Grizzlies versus Trailblazers. 10 o'clock ESPN.
I'm gonna pick the Blazers. They need to bounce back.
They need to bounce back after getting absolutely blitzed by the Clippers.
By Luke Kennard. They need to bounce back.
Yeah, but not against my guy, Jay Hey, let's get it. Jared Jackson Jr., J.A., my boy
Josh
in
Allen?
Memphis. Let's get it. What?
Josh Allen?
It's not a football podcast.
A
And lastly, the Cavaliers going up against the Clippers.
the Clippers.
The Clippers, unless Jared Allen and Kevin Love play great again. Like they play against the reigning MVP.
Yep.
But all right. All right, Ja. Wonders was the edits, by the way. This time to wrap things up. Final thoughts.
Are we going to give out the list?
Oh yeah, the list. Oh yeah, what a great way to
Real quick.
I don't know if to give it out the list, but let's just say, ladies and gentlemen, there's something brewing, something going on in the works, something scheduled for, let's say, around next week. You know, so much going on about the top 75 list. Well, how about we introduce our list? Ja put up a good photo. You know, you're good with the thumbnails. Put up a good photo right now of the snub 25 list. That is right. The snub 25 list that includes 27 players. One was a tie, or two was a tie, and the other one was kicked off the list. Then we add him back.
Hey, all I gotta say is if the NBA can manipulate the list, we could do it too.
We could do it too. The snub 25 list that includes 27 players. Our own version of the list, the official list that everybody recognizes as an official list, by the way, with iconic, legendary names that has a case to be on the 75 list, but that just didn't make it. And we're going to give them that case and put it out there in video form for the world to see. The snub 75 list will be released around next week, hopefully, if everything goes right. And it will be about 2 videos a week, if everything goes right once again. Who will be on the list? Well,
stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, stay tuned to find out. Stay tuned to find out. But all right, Ja, all out the way. Snub 25 coming up next week. Let's wrap things up. Thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure you tune into Friday's podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, support the channel, give us feedback, positive or negative. Just be respectful, please.
And also follow our IG and our TikTok and the rest of our social media down in the description below.
Yes, so Ja can pay for a better internet. And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this was the Mind of Basketball podcast. What season?
Season number 2. But hey, real quick. Hey, Kyrie, they might have quietly removed you, but don't worry. We got your back, bro. We got your back. I'm sorry.
Possibly.
We probably do or don't. We don't know. But hey, don't worry. We're not going to do what the NBA did to you, though.
Yeah, we're not even going to think about you. Goodbye.